Instead of using the rubber band tracks in this vintage kit, I decided to make a set of replacement tracks using blue stuff or Oyamaru press molds cast from the tracks in the Zvezda 1 to 72nd scale SU-100. After the press molds were made from the SU-100 track and had time to cool down, the mold was filled with green stuff putty and left for 24 hours of drying time. Once dried, I had a highly detailed putty copy of the tracks. Once removed from the mold, the excess putty was cut away from the edge of the track using a standard hobby knife. After that, I turned my attention back to the kit. I added a spare 1/72nd scale crate to the side for stowage, and added a 1/72nd scale bag that was shaped into a blanket roll, with the aid of green stuff putty. The fuel drums were from the kit itself that were cut down. The bands and fuel caps were made from lengths of stretched sprue frame, glued onto the parts with Tamiya extra thin cement. The putty tracks were painted in black spray primer. Once dry, the parts were dry brushed in Citadel lead belcher. Once the paint had dried, the tracks were then cut to shape. The putty tracks were then super glued onto the running gear, and with that, the model was ready to have its decals applied. Instead of making a World War II era T-34-85 model, I wanted my model to depict a post-war T-34-85 in the colours of one of the 27 T-34 tanks operated by Austria between the years of 1955 to 1959. The Austrian decals were made from my spares box, first using the red centre roundel from an RAF decal set, which was applied with microset decal solution. The serial number came from a spare World War II German Panzer decal set. As for the centre of the Austrian roundel, that was made with a triangle piece of white decal paper applied with microset decal solution. The diorama base was made from a piece of 10 cm by 14 cm plywood. The terrain was formed with various bits of foam core board, plaster rock, cork and milliput, making a slice of the Austrian landscape. A section of spare track was used to make an impression in the terrain, while the milliput was still wet. Once dry, the base was spray painted black, with a sand and soil glue mix applied over the top. After that, the static grass was applied via a homemade static grass applicator and PVA glue. The last step was painting the rock face in different shades of grey acrylic paint. Once done, the entire project was finished. Thank you for watching this video, and good luck with all your ongoing projects. It's now time for the final reveal.